Welcome back, all you sports and gambling fans out there. Get ready for some more NFL betting coverage, just in case you missed all the rest of them. Joining me here is Dave Golokhov, our very own SBR contributor. All right, man, let's try and find some more angles for this total at 47.5. Now, there could be a remote possibility that this game might go over the total, but a lot would have to happen for that actually to go through. Now, in your article, you made mention of some defensive touchdowns, as you made a reference of last year's Super Bowl against the Broncos. But, man, I think we have to agree here, this defense isn't exactly the same. And they have a couple of very important players that are banged up. With Thomas and Sherman, they're going to play, but they're kind of, hit up. So how else would you expect for something like this to happen?
For this to go over the number, I think we're going to have to obviously see a shootout. We're going to have to see both teams emphasizing the pass more so than the run, or even if both teams are emphasizing the run, they're going to have to run successfully. They're going to have to move the ball up and down the field against two pretty good defenses. Not to say that the offenses aren't that good themselves, but I think you take a look at this matchup and you see two good defenses and two offenses that are, maybe a brick or two short of a load, more so on the Seahawks side. I think that's really the issue here. We're not dealing with like Randy Moss and Randall Cunningham and the Vikings of the early 90s. These are more, not to say that the Patriots haven't lit up the scoreboard this year, but I just think that going up against these two defenses, these two teams are going to have to do something above and beyond the Call of Duty to get to the over, and that's why I'm actually going with the under.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that, and I guess we agree with the total pick on the under. The only thing that kind of does worry me in this case, do you actually think that the Pats defense will be able to stop that Seattle explosive offense? Or, to be a lot more clear, I think we touched this on the last video, the run game. We saw how the Ravens took advantage of that in the divisional game against the Patriots. And now to throw in a quarterback like Wilson into that run game, it kind of spells disaster for me. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so. The bottom line I see here is you got Belichick, who's a defensive mind. He's had 2 weeks to prepare for this Seahawks team, and I think they're going to be more than ready. Marshawn Lynch is the first priority. Got to cut him off. And then secondly, you got to focus on Russell Wilson. I think for Wilson, it's more keep him in the pocket. Don't let him run around and buy that extra time. And I think the Patriots are capable of doing that. The Seahawks, their receivers are so-so, and I think the Patriots have the weapons to kind of keep them under wraps in the secondary. So I think what you really see here is both teams coming out, trying to run the ball, trying to be successful on the ground first before doing anything else. And I think that's really going to be the difference in us getting under the number here. I think you see both defenses stiffen up in the red zones. We're talking about two defenses that ranked in the top 8 in terms of scoring defense, so I think that's quite impressive. And we saw this with Seattle. Green Bay, who I consider to be a better offense than New England, couldn't punch it in from the 1-yard line a bunch of times. They couldn't do a whole lot with those extra turnovers, and I just don't think that the Patriots offense is that much better. I think both teams emphasize the run, both teams come out conservatively, and that leads us to an under here.
All right, man. Now, we're agreeing here. The under is the way to go with this one. But I definitely think that there are a little bit more factors that have to come down to this to make it happen. What else do you think we're probably going to see in this game, besides both teams just trying to stop and going for the run in this one?
Well, I think you're going to see the Patriots try to target Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas a little bit more. We're going to see what they're all about and how healthy they are. I think you're definitely going to see Rob Gronkowski get the ball and targeted very often. Remember, the last time he played in the Super Bowl, he was not healthy. This time, he's about as healthy as can be. On top of that, you got Jeremy Lane calling him out, so expect him to be featured. But, other than that, I just don't like the matchups, in particular with the Patriots receivers going up against that secondary. They've got sort of small, diminutive receivers, and that quick passing game. It's kind of similar to what we saw from the Broncos last year, and the Seahawks know how to cut that out. We saw the Seahawks cut that out in the second half against the Packers last week. So New England's going to have to come up with something else, because I don't think that's going to work. And I know that they're going to target Sherman and Thomas, but if those guys are healthier than we think, then this could be a really low-scoring game. So I don't like the over here. I can understand why some people might want to bet it. You know, we saw the Seahawks offense go from 0 to 100 real quick last week, but I think realistically these are, you know, two more conservative teams. Patriots can light it up, but they're going up against an elite defense, and the Seahawks, I think they're a little bit, a little bit handicapped because they rely so much on Lynch. If he's cut off or if Wilson has a bad game, this team is not going to score enough to get the over.
I definitely agree with you, man. All right, Dave, thanks as always, man, for all the insights and the pick, and we'll talk again tomorrow. And everyone else, make sure to check back with us tomorrow for some more sports coverage and your free picks. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.